my name is Lisette and I will be leading the video for the Sprint 4 meeting minutes review for the project Exploring the Unconscious. Our product owner for the project is Dr. Mario Arasso and our mentor is Dr. Masoud. For our first meeting, it was held on October 15th. Com had continued working on the voice placeholder and planned to have it finished by the next time we met, and I had integrated the design into the application and merged the design code and the music and chimes code into it. I planned on fixing the buttons on the results page and starting the documentation portion. Com's hurdle was the voice was playing double and managing time. My hurdle was working with Android Studio's equivalent of CSS to style the buttons was proving to be very difficult, and I was also having trouble managing time. Time management would be something that we would continue to struggle with throughout the entirety of the sprint. The following meeting was held on October 16th. Com had worked on the documentation and finished the preference page. I had also worked on the documentation, and Com planned on fixing the bugs found in our algorithm, and I planned to do so as well with him. We were both having trouble managing our time. For the third meeting, which was held on October 17th, Com had fixed the algorithm code that was found during his meeting with Mario, and I had worked on getting Android Studios to work again because it had crashed. Com planned on working on the documentation before the next meeting, and I planned on having Android Studios work again by re-downloading it, as well as re-adding the compatible and not compatible wording in the results, which got deleted along the way of fixing our bug problems, as well as adding the summation number for the comparison and styling to the preference page. Com's hurdle was time management as well as my own, but I also had the hurdle of Android Studios crashing. For the fourth meeting, we held it on October 18th. Com had added the visual user guide images to the user stories and made the user stories using the user story documentation template. I had re-downloaded Android Studios, re-added the compatible and not compatible wording in the results, added the summation number for the comparison, added the styling for the preference page, added the visual user guide images to the user stories, and made the user stories using the user story documentation template. Com planned to continue working on the documentation, particularly the use case and use case diagrams, and I plan to do the same. We were both still having trouble managing our time. For the fifth meeting, which happened on the 19th of October, Com had finished the user case and use case diagrams for the user stories that weren't epics, and I had done the same. I also organized 2018 fall UNCN documentation folders and started writing the video scripts. Com had started working on the sequence diagrams, and I plan to continue writing all of the video scripts. We are both having trouble managing time. By the sixth meeting, which happened the following week, on October 22nd, Com had started working on the sequence diagrams, and I had finished writing all of the video scripts. He continued to plan on working on the diagrams, and I planned to start working on the videos. We were both still having trouble with time. By the seventh meeting, which happened October 23rd, Com had worked on the sequence diagrams, and I had downloaded and learned how to use the software that I am currently using to create videos. He planned to continue working on the diagrams, and I planned to create all of the videos for the sprint meetings, like the sprint meeting minutes, the retros, the planning, etc. We were both still having trouble managing our time. By the eighth meeting on the 24th of October, Com had worked on the sequence and class diagrams and planned to continue working on these diagrams. I had finished the sprint retro videos, and I was planning to finish the sprint meeting minutes and the sprint planning videos. Both of us were still having trouble managing our time. By the ninth meeting, which happened October 25th, Com had finished the sequence and class diagrams for existing user stories, and I had finished all of the sprint meeting related videos for sprint 1, 2, and 3, as well as created the videos for sprint planning for sprint 4. He planned on creating and completing the new user story document for a new user story that was created, as well as working on integration testing and unit testing. I also planned on working on integration and unit testing. Both of our hurdles were, however, we weren't sure what integration testing was. By the last meeting, which happened on the 26th of October, COM had finished user testing and completed the new user story document for the new user story that was created, and I had also finished unit testing and started working on integration testing. COM planned to work on integration testing during the weekend, and I plan to do the same. Both of us, however, were still having trouble managing our time. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and send us an email. Our email's on the screen.